Hey everybody, my name's Casey. This is my wonderful wife Natasha. We're the Vosses, and we wanted to hop on here quick and show you or talk to you about a little learned advice in our marriage.
And it would be learned advice. So if you don't know us, we have been married for 13 years, have 5 amazing kids, have been through the trenches in marriage not too long ago. But I've also seen the peaks of marriage and what it can bring to life. And I've had our share of trials just like everybody else. But in everything, we've been talking to couples all across the country, and it's been really encouraging just to know that everybody is just fighting for, there's people fighting for their marriage, and there's people in the hopelessness of their marriage. And we just want to reach out and shout out and say, hey, life is hard.
And it's
marriage,
possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. We have done it. We've gone through it. It's taken a lot of work, a lot of prayer, and counseling, and we're here to help.
So that's what we're doing here. We get started off, everybody, we had a happily, you usually get married because you have a happy beginning. And so we did. We dated and had the happy beginning, right?
Yep, we did.
Got married, started having babies right away, moved around the country a few times. But life was good, or so we thought. And then got a few years into it, and what happened?
I don't know that we knew how to do marriage when we started. Does anybody really know how to do marriage?
That would be a good...
When you get married.
Yeah.
Not right.
Like, where's a rule book? There's really not one. There's help books and stuff, but just... we didn't really know how to, just like you said, how to do it. So we lost connection. We lost each other. And life got tough. And it wasn't very fun being married. And there became this cycle, and I like to call it the crazy cycle of, well, you do this one thing expecting this and expecting that, and it just goes over and over again, and you keep doing the same things, and it keeps repeating, and you're just on a merry-go-round that isn't very merry. And
she does something, I get mad, I go cool off. She does it again, I'll get mad, I go cool off.
The crazy. Sound familiar?
Yeah. or I do something, she'll get mad, and the communication just breaks down. And you're not all there in your marriage. And you get comfortable in your marriage. So you want to present yourself the best way possible when you first get married, and you're gonna be the best at everything. And after a while, you start leaving your clothes on the floor and chewing at the mouth open and just other things, and it gets annoying to your spouse.
Right, but in our case, it just wasn't brought up in communication. And so today we wanted to share with you 3 different things that we found invaluable to keeping the marriage at a good level, like at a peaceful, happy level. Not like you said, like settling, because that definitely takes place in all marriages. Like you just get to a point and you just, well, this is as good as it's going to get. Like, I'm just going to drag myself through the rest of my marriage because this is as good as it's going to get. But it doesn't have to be that way. I thought that for the longest time, that it wasn't going to get any better. I married the man, and he's going to just be this way. And he thought the same thing about, like, gosh, this is as good as it's going to get. But there are keys to making it better and how to stop that crazy cycle. And just like he was saying, the first biggest one is...
communication.
Yeah.
So we've got to communicate with our spouse that we're in it. We're in it for life, our commitment. And so, because we may get to that spot, we don't know if what we say is really going to offend our spouse, and they're going to leave, or they're going to just be way upset, and they're going to want to end something, if we're in that spot. So we got to, first thing, have the communication about the commitment that we're with them for life, and they are able to, you might not like what I'm going to say, but know at the end of the day, I'm still with you. This is what I'm struggling with, and I want to work on it. But know know that I'm with you. It may take us a while. I don't expect you to change overnight, but once the fear comes in of you're leaving, then they're going to back off completely, or or you don't want to say anything because it could cause confrontation, and then.
Yep.
But that's exactly what you need in a marriage is that
conversation to bring confrontation.
Helpful
Helpful confrontations.
C
But that leads right into listening. Number 2 is listening with no judgment, not sitting there. So somebody, your spouse is like, hey, like this is the thing that I'm dealing with here. And then for you not to just sit there and just throw your judgments at them and think that, this would be different if it was X, Y, Z, or you need to do this, or that should have been done. Like the shoulds, the expectations, just lay them down for a bit and just listen without judgment and hear your partner out. Hear where they're at. Hear where their heart is at. Know that y'all made the commitment to be in it, to win it. And so just stay and just keep that in your mind and in your heart.
Put yourself in their shoes and forget about yourself for a little bit. Just forget about yourself. Listen to the needs of your partner. And try to be, when you're breaking down the steps of communicating, try to be selfless in this area. You just got to forget about yourself completely and be thinking about their heart and what's on their mind and heart. So
right, lower your pride.
Yeah.
Wives and husbands, get rid of that ego. It's not going to be serving you. And so communicate, listen. Number 3 goes right along with naturally, and it's just be vulnerable. Be vulnerable to the point, like he's talking about. Share those things that are bothering you. Communicate the little things, whatever it is.
It's amazing how far it'll go when you can get up the nerve to say what you don't want to say. Tell them what you don't want to tell them. Do it in a humbling way. You don't do it in any way you can, actually, because it needs to be said and you have to fight through it. And it has to be done. You won't get any better. You can't get through things unless things are shared, unless things are talked about, and unless you completely know each other. Without knowing each other, it's going to be hard to do.
It's going to be really hard.
Completely know each other. Everything God knows about you, your spouse should know about you.
Which is scary. But at the end of the day, if you can have that communication, if you can have that non-judgment of your spouse, knowing that you jumped into this wholeheartedly, that was your commitment from the very beginning, that's what y'all set up. You have kids now, like, keep that commitment. And if we would just lower our judgments and understand the person is a person, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to fail us. They're going to hurt us. I mean, of course, it's another human being. Like, why would how could I not hurt him? How could he not hurt me? He's another person in his own individual self. It's going to happen. But when it happens, communicate. Lower your judgment and be vulnerable. And in that, just continue that cycle. Stop the crazy cycle, but start the cycle of communication, lowering your judgments, and being vulnerable. And you will see your marriage change and shift in ways that it hadn't before.
It may take time, but this has to happen. This is part of marriage. It's what it was intended for, and it's better than the other route. So much pain just in our kids' lives. If divorce would have happened, the rest of our life, and the pain I hear from other people, it just wasn't worth it. It was worth 6, 8, 12 months of just literally pain and crying out and heartache, pushing through it and the tears, to get on the other side,
to sit where we are today
of the valley.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all the other stuff you bring into a marriage when divorce happens is not worth it. Haunt you the rest of your life. And reach out.
Yeah, no one understand your marriage is worth fighting for. I don't care how low or how bad off you think it is.
Yeah.
It's worth it. And
Definitely.
we encourage you to keep fighting. That's what we're here to do. We're here to share our advice from lessons learned, and hope you tune in again. But thanks for joining us today. Be sure you're communicating, not judging, and being vulnerable with your spouse.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Catch y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.